A lot of people say that Atari Hotels is a scam.
In January of 2020, Atari announced that they would be making 2 Atari-themed hotels, one in Phoenix, Arizona, and one in Las Vegas, Nevada. Once the pandemic hit, however, the entire announcement went dark. In early 2026, Atari Hotels released a new video made entirely of AI, announcing that they are back and crowdfunded. For $500, you too can be part of the new Atari Hotels program as an investor. Naturally, people were skeptical, with distrust pouring out all over social media. Is this real, or just another money-making scheme by a dead gaming company? Since we live in the Phoenix area, we took the opportunity to meet up with one of the primary people in charge, ask some hard-hitting questions, and get a glimpse of the actual site where they're planning to break ground. It's time to finally learn the truth about this whole Atari Hotels thing.
We're here with Sydney from Atari Hotels.
Yes, sir.
So I have to ask you, Sydney, to start everything off, introduce yourself. How long have you been with Atari Hotels?
Yep.
And tell us a little bit about you.
Absolutely. Dan, Elisa, appreciate y'all so much for this time and reconnection after we saw each other at the Game On Expo. It's great seeing you guys again and Phoenix fandom that we got over here. So
Heck yeah.
My background, born and raised here in Phoenix, Arizona, born in Tucson, moved up to the East Valley area when I was about 6 or 8 months. So very familiar with the space in which we are as well too. Fast forwarding all the way to around 2022, in which I got connected with the team of Atari Hotels, but intersection development, our commercial real estate development angle as well.
Okay. Fellow Wildcat.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Let's go. Let's go.
Awesome. So the first question I have to ask, when did this Atari Hotel thing come up and why?
Yeah, that's actually a great question. So initially the idea came up in 2019 and there were talks with Atari themselves as we're a licensee from Atari. So in about January of 2020 is when we got the official license of the Atari Hotels. Now, if we're checking the calendars and seeing what happened around that time frame, COVID unfortunately did happen to where things subsided with the Vegas announcement that was initially launched back then.
You were going to have another Vegas location.
Exactly. So that initially was going to be the flagship first location area that we had, but COVID happening brought things under the radar, not canceled completely, brought them under the radar to the blessings actually of what we have going on right now. So we've been in this neighborhood of Phoenix developing, investing since about 2017. So about 10 years within this Phoenix market, Roosevelt Row specifically, which we actually are right now. As we went under the radar with the Atari Hotels announcements initially, it allowed us the opportunity to not only build more within this area and generate up to our 14 different properties that we own now, one of them being this one here, but it allowed us to actually acquire the land that the Atari Hotels is going to be on. But in that time frame, we were running to make sure that we were understanding more of the market, understanding this gaming market that's exploded to a near $500 billion, like that's incredible, you know?
Yeah, it's huge.
$500 billion industry to where it made a lot more sense to re-announce in our neighborhood of Phoenix, but also, hey guys, with that, we can walk through, we can show you the land that it's going to be on as we continue to work our way over to the groundbreaking, which is coming up the end of this year here.
Stay tuned for later in the video when Sydney walks us to the side of the hotel and takes us behind the scenes at the company office that's behind the entire project. So why?
Yeah, so the why behind it is that gaming and real estate, and I'm taking this back to our real estate aside as well too, there are connections that we truly see within each one that have a synergy together. With that connection of real estate being a home that brings people together, gaming being its home more on the digital side, but not totally, because you have your analog games as well too, board games as well too, being a place that brings people together, it made so much sense to connect the two worlds in one setting to where not only are we connecting with the real estate side, not only are we connecting with the gaming side, but we're bringing them together to have a truly unique experience in what we call the Atari Hotels here.
A lot of people honestly think that Atari Hotels is a scam.
It is not a scam at all. We got the land, $14 million invested in it already. We have our partnerships, Phase Adapt, couple that will be dripping out over the future in terms of who they are, true owners within it as well too. We have our operators in terms of the event space that's active for 150 nights a year, and that's going to be concerts even outside of the gaming. And we have our retail partners as well too. That's going to be operating the food, the beverage, sports bar, anything you could want outside of the experience of gaming and entertainment as well.
So right into the nitty gritty.
Yep.
You guys released an AI trailer. When that kind of thing happens without like substantial visual, like real assets,
Yep.
some people tend to get skeptical.
Totally.
Recently, we've been, convinced by the whole Intellivision Amico situation, where there was a lot of money and time behind that, and then there were investors, and then there were pre-orders, and then there were pre-order non-refunds, and now it's just something that's sitting in the nebulous as a, I think it's called Atari Live, or I'm sorry, Amico Live or something, Amico Home.
Amico Home.
And that's all that it's been so far. So forgive the retro community from being a little gun shy, right? So Atari Hotels, their big first trailer was all AI, which is pretty controversial in like the retro gaming space. We want our people-made games. We want people to be employed. There have been a lot of layoffs in the AI space, or in the video game space for AI. Knowing how controversial it is, does your team regret doing that? Would you take it back?
That's a really great question. So totally we understand the skepticism behind releasing an AI video, because again, nowadays we can all create our own AI videos, post it online, and then people run with it with what they see. With that was more of a vision, to give a vision of what energy could be within the hotel itself. So all of the AI video renderings, images, and flow that you saw were based on true architecturally created renderings by our architect partner in Rockhouse. So basically what the AI video did, or what we were trying to do with that, was create energy of what could happen within the bar space within Atari Hotels. What are some events, concert-wise, energy that could be super hype and live within the 20,000 square foot event space there?
Yeah.
What does an actual restaurant or the breezeway of Atari Hotels look like outside of the renderings that were curated by Rockhouse? We don't have any regrets on it, because it wasn't our push to gather people in. Our push to bring people in and show our trust and our commitment to the project was the ownership in the land, spending $14 million to purchase that land right there, our workings with our marketing groups and our PR, creating different partnerships that truly own a piece in this project. Like, the gaming community is probably very familiar with the FaZe Clan, in which FaZe Adapt is one of our true partners on this Atari Hotels project here.
I'm not familiar.
FaZe Adapt. So FaZe Clan is they're before they
esports.
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
Yep,
Gotcha.
exactly.
FaZe
There
Clan.
you go.
Gotcha.
Yep. Our legwork in terms of the partnerships that we're creating, the expansions with these operators that we're working with as well too, to create an actual footprint on this project, was more of our push to open up what Atari Hotels is.
So it's more of a light at the end of the tunnel for your team. Like, this is what we want it to look like, and this is our goal.
Correct.
Than it is like, here's what it's going to be.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. It gave some inspiration to what could be throughout there.
Gotcha.
So.
Okay.
Now, will this hotel be a hotel that people can actually book at, or some kind of weird timeshare?
Great question as well. So no timeshare, no ownership of specific duration that you can go into these suites there. They are going to be actual hotel suites, so functioning just like your normal hotel suites, bookings, different things like that. But it is that hotel angle with the large area of entertainment that's attached to it that'll be open on that consistent public daily basis there. It truly is a destination outside of the stays where you don't have to book a stay to be able to experience the 20,000 square foot event space that we have.
Oh, okay.
The retail side that's going to be attached to it as well too. So outside of the gaming and the entertainment side, which is concerts, different ticketed events, all those things like that, there's an entire retail side which we have partnered with an operator to take over as well too, for food, for beverage, for bar, for sports bar as well. And these are your daily public activations where, let's say, our experience of Atari Hotels is catching up after we haven't seen each other for 9 months, grabbing some coffee, having an hour conversation, and then we did, Okay. So that's the kind of dynamic ability of the Atari Hotels.
Crowdfunding's a very interesting thing that doesn't happen a lot in our space.
Yep,
right?
correct.
If it were to stop right now and not another person would crowdfund, would Atari Hotels still happen?
Correct.
It
yes, would. It would. Yep.
So there's enough private investors to push this forward.
That is the angle of it, correct. So not relying, like someone mentioned, we were desperate or so for opening up the Reg A, which again, we understand the comments behind that just due to what it is, but it's not the sole portal that we're going through to raise money for this project that we're working through out there. So yes, in a sense, it could still move forward with the private equity that's being invested in it, but the purpose of it is to integrate the community throughout there. So that's why that angle of multiple routes of raising money is open there.
So that's how this differentiates between like a Kickstarter.
Yep.
It's not necessarily about funding this project. This project is going to happen, but if you would like to be a part of it and involve the community, this is how it's coming together.
That is exactly it. That is exactly it.
Once the hotel's built and the site's running.
If we're talking about the language that gaming is, where regardless of where we are in the world, we can connect with one another, it only makes sense to have that connection of ownership as well too in this project of Atari Hotels.
So everything currently available to see online, your YouTube page, your website, like social media, it really only talks about, including in the videos, like the investment opportunities and how safe it is. But like, how close is your team actually to starting and finishing on time for 2028? We see new projects in the Phoenix Valley all the time that get abandoned. We see new projects that never start.
Yeah, absolutely. With every development, especially within this commercial side, there's going to be time. You know, it's going to take time, potential delays. Like we have a project over here that did have its delays throughout there. But our goal is end of this year, you know, with the capital raise that we're raising right now, end of this year, 2026, to truly break ground on, again, the site that we already own for it, for that 2-year build to connect and open up within the 2028, 2029 year here.
What could stop that?
Stopping, the only thing really is if we don't happen to hit our raise within that time, you know? So again, not exclusively all funded by the Reg A, but that is the open portal for fans and anyone that's interested in gaming and experience and entertainment to invest in. But we have that angle of the private equity that we're working with different groups, getting our terms in to get that project funding throughout there.
And you keep saying your raise. So have you guys publicly shared how many investors you already have and what your goals are with that?
No, we haven't publicly shared how many investors that we have, but it is out there in terms of the total raise. So the project overall, $124 million all in, and the raise that we're looking to raise for this is about $40 million throughout there. So those public numbers are out there. Exactly. The number of investors and all is not out there publicly.
Gotcha. And you mentioned earlier that some things that could delay the process, or if you didn't hit those, reach the revenue
raise,
raise is what you called it. The raise is what people are literally putting in at $500 increments or whatever it is. If you don't hit those, it could delay the process again.
Correct. Yep.
So ultimately, if you don't hit those, it could delay it for another 5 years.
Potentially, you know, but with that, there's the risk that happens in any kind of development throughout there. The risk of the Reg A, and this is something that we also certainly want to bring up to anyone that is investing in true ownership through the Reg A angle.
What is Reg A?
So Regulation A, basically what it is it's an SEC overseen funding mechanism or vehicle, we could say, to where it opens up the ability to invest in larger scale projects.
Oh, that's right.
To, the unaccredited investors as well too. So in our specific model with the Reg A, which everything detailed from what every penny is going to be spent on, what we are aspiring to have into this project, it's all laid out in this super long reading within our website there that you can click and double check for yourself to make sure this is a risk that you want to take. One of the big angles that is great in investor safe and proof prior to the development side is we have to hit a certain minimum via the Reg A at a certain time frame. If we don't hit that minimum by that certain time, all the money, whether it was 500, whether it was 500,000 that you invested in prior to and we didn't hit that minimum, is returned back to the investors.
What's that time and what's the minimum?
So minimum overall for the Reg A specifically is an 8.7 million minimum. And then that time frame is December 17th, 18th as well, that we have to hit that via the Reg A there.
Of this year?
Correct, yep.
Are you on track?
We are happy with our motion, I'll say that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. Without giving specific numbers, we are happy with the motion that we got going on there.
Okay.
What specific tangible rights come with Atari Hotels investments and ownership?
Yeah, so within that, that's the ownership in the land, that's the ownership in the title, the naming itself of the Atari Hotels, that's in the project as well, and all the different avenues of experience that will come within the physical, tangible assets of what the project is. So the retail side, the event side, even the rooms and stay side. So all of those are going to be portions of returns that the investors truly have and own there.
Okay.
I think,
So it's like a physical stock market without it actually being publicly traded.
Yep,
Okay.
exactly.
is there something tangible for them to maybe get awarded?
Yeah.
Like is there going to be a wall or a brick or plaques or something with everyone's names on it, or like, I don't know, a certificate or something?
Correct. Yeah. So on our website, actually, it shows some of the early incentives that investors will gain based on how much they invest, whether it's the 500, the 2,500, 10K, 15K. So it scales up from there so that outside of the returns of true ownership in this project, there are incentives of the VIP experience, of the digital experience as well too. Digital, not meaning like, hey, it's on our phone, but once you're into the actual Atari Hotels, it connects to your name digitally to know who you are, so that those advancements from your investment are known and applied to your experience as well throughout the hotel there.
So it will like know as soon as you walk into the hotel, or once you sign in, that you were a part of the project.
The beauty of the future proof of the technology. Yep.
What does Wade Rosen, the current Atari CEO, have any input or oversight in this project? And does Atari play a direct role in operations or just in branding?
Great question there. So yeah, we are a licensee of Atari. So Wade Rosen and the Atari team, they're extremely supportive of the project. They're also there for strategic reasons as well too, being us a licensee.
Yeah.
But in terms of the actual development, fundraising, capital raise, all the above, that is exclusively us within the development side of the Atari Hotels.
So they're just allowing you to play within the Atari fence.
Correct.
Giving you full priority. That's great.
Yep.
That's
Sandbox playground. You guys have some fun.
Yeah.
But they're there to oversee strategy and things like that as well too.
great. Oh, okay. Considering what I don't know, I feel like there's been a major fall of NFTs.
Yep.
We've never supported them, never been into them.
Yep.
Is the Atari ownership or rights, does that have anything to do with digital ownership at all?
No NFTs, no digital ownership. So NFT is not in our language at all for the model that we're projecting with Atari Hotels.
No, what do they call them? Blockchains or anything like that?
Nothing at all.
That's great.
Nothing at all.
And that really aligns with the retro gaming community because we're trying to hold on to physical gaming for as long as we can.
The digital is that's why it's like building a home for gamers, bring the digital into a physical presence over here at Atari Hotels.
And I think Phoenix is a pretty good place for that.
Big time.
Might be a little biased, but
You're right, though. Fifth largest city in the entire country, so that speaks volumes for itself right there, and that's been consistently ongoing for almost a decade. So to your point, there's a lot of interest within this market of Phoenix to where we, again, truly believe that this could be a great place for it as well.
one of the great challenges of technology is that it often outpaces construction, similar to video game generations, right? Atari got outpaced and then came back that's just the constant battle. How will new technologies be implemented in the hotel to keep people engaged for many years to come, especially we're still 2 years out?
Correct. Huge. And that's a great question. I'm glad that you brought up. So biggest thing is being as future-proof as we can. What we think are fantastic ideas of today, honestly, are going to be different than they are just within the next 90, 120 days, next year kind of situation there. So very strategically partnering with Intel is going to be our technology partner within this project here.
And they're
so
local.
that we are, so that we are as future-proof as possible so that these ideas that we have going on today, we can can evolve into what is technology in the future as well too.
Okay. Everybody wants to know. The first thing you think of when you see Atari Hotel is, what's the branding going to be like? Are there going to be themes of Atari exclusive IPs like Bubsy, what are they? Roller Coaster Tycoon, Centipede, Asteroids, Missile Command? Like, they're going to be prominent in the hotel. Can I book like a Missile Command suite?
Love that you brought up that question. That's one of my favorite things about this project, actually. So again, taking it back to the stays, there's 91 suites there, and it's a play on the origination of Atari and Pong. 1972 is when it was created. So 19 of those suites we are catering to creator created suites, and 72 of them are going to be, I don't want to even say standard because I feel like it undermines the experience that will occur within. But yes, a lot of influence in terms of gaming. So what I mean by that is that your standard suites, your 72 suites, whether you're coming in or whether you're already within your space already, there's going to be kind of a questionnaire or so of, hey, what are your favorite consoles that you played over time or so, or what do you resonate with as of today? Let's go ahead and make sure that's in your space and stay before you even enter into your room there. So there's going to be a lot of touches of homage history just to Atari itself, but gaming itself. But on those 19 additional creator suites that we have, like Phase Adapt being one of our partners, a couple in the line too, which are in the diverse realms. One's in the NFL, one was a previous Olympian as well as gold Olympian, as well as a UFC champion, is that they're going to be very curated towards their touches and interests. So whether Phase adapts his streaming setup and all his fandom in terms of different types of IP and all that he curates within his room.
So it might not necessarily be themed rooms. Like I'm not going to sit in a room and there's like a Centipede game playing above me, or we don't know. The possibilities are endless, is what you're saying.
The possibilities are endless there. Yeah, exactly. So taking it back to the technology side, depending on how that trajectory of planning goes through with, those are things that are very able to be done.
Not out of the realm. Okay.
Yeah.
You bring up esports a lot. Do you think that's a little potentially a little misaligned, considering the delta of age between esports fans and Atari fans?
Not at all. So the beauty of it, and I see exactly what you're saying there, but the beauty of it is how we're developing this as an environment for gaming and gaming culture opens up that avenue to create experiences and events that cater towards the arcade cabinet game styles, but also opens up the ability for these esport venues. And that's the nice thing about having that tech partner in Intel, but also that large, it's a 20,000 square foot space, but it holds 2,200 people in there. So a very flexible and dynamic area to where we are not restricted to fixed assets that are in place, but it helps us evolve into, hey, let's cater a lot more towards the retro side for this given kind of project that we have going on. Gaming, whether you're from the 1950s is when you were born, all the way to just 5 years ago in which you were born, there's an understanding of what that is, of what gaming is and how it defines to you individually with your experience of it, which is what we truly believe in as well too. Let's go ahead and bring the retro, the nostalgia to the more modernized so that we could connect together, but also understand each other in a different way, you know?
Are there any plans to collaborate with Phoenix Game on Expo in some way in the future? Maybe special pricing and events during the night of the expo?
Yes, absolutely. So Game on Expo, where thank the Lord we all connected and met over there. We are going to consistently be attendees there. So next year coming up as well too, in which we are wanting to partner in a deeper angle for different types of experiences like that, whether it's a VIP setting, whether it's a discount setting, whether it's a what exactly are you getting at the Atari Hotels booth that is a wow kind of factor in terms of what it could be throughout the entire space there. So we do have a partnership coming on with Phoenix Fan Fusion. So that's June 5th all the way to June 7th. Very, very big activations going on over there. So yes, Game on Expo, absolutely would love to partner with them on different activations as well in the future.
Generally, hotels will have, if you're positioned in a good part of Phoenix, location, you're going to have regular visitors. You're probably going to also have destination visitors, ultimately, that you want, that are gamers. What specific attractions are going to be there for gamers?
So the ground floor is going to be open publicly to where the gaming experience will occur throughout there. That's where the entertainment experience occurs as well. That's where the disconnection to gaming and entertainment, but just want some retail, is going to be there as well too. So outside of staying on that ground floor level is where the gaming activations, the digital activations, the analog activations are all going to be set. So on a public daily basis, any kind of gamers can walk through, have their experience, and call it a day at Atari Hotels.
You announced a lot of things in the trailer, the AI trailer, that are potentials. Are there any of those that you can share are definites for sure it's going to happen?
Absolutely. So breezeway, that's through it. That's where you saw like the escalator of people walking through. We have the restaurant, the sports bar, that's in there as well. That event space in which it was everyone jumping throughout, that's going to be there as well too. We have the floor level or the outdoor pool deck level as well. That's going to be activated. You have your top, I think this was in the rendering. I think it was active on the AI video as well too, but our creator or baller suite is what we call it at the top of there. So it's a 3,500, 4,000 square foot space, private space for creators to be able to book and rent out and have their stays there as they're staying within Phoenix. So everything that you have seen on that AI is truly a tangible item that is programmed within our pro forma, within our design with the architects of Rock House as well too. So none of that was input into AI of saying, hey, create this. It was based on our legwork of working with our architects to then curate all these assets that we have into the video that was seen.
Would the event room be open to anyone to book for, say, like someone wanted a video game wedding?
Yes, exactly. So because it's so large, it allows us to close off and enclose off different portions to it as well too. So if you want to have a conference in there, academically, we've talked to a couple schools in terms of incubations there, where it's an extension of their degree programs, business of gaming, game development, things like that as well too. So there will be portions on those nights or days that it's not active as an entire area for people to rent out and book as well.
Will there actually be a physical arcade at the hotel?
Yes, there will be. And there will be integrations of it into the not only restaurant itself too, but within its curated space that will have its angles of the arcade cabinets there. You'll have your tabletop as well throughout there. So there will be some rooms and pockets that also cater specifically to the arcade on a consistent activation as well.
We talked a little bit about the location, potentially in Vegas.
Yep.
Is it entirely dead thanks to the COVID situation, or is there a potential for it again, maybe in the future?
Yes, potential for sure. So it is not dead, just right now under the radar, as Phoenix is the primary focus for the flagship location of this. And then after we get the Phoenix location up and running, that's where we'll take ourselves back into, is it the Vegas location? Is it the Denver location? But looking to operate, more of these if we can throughout the nation, maybe 4 or 5 in the nation. Internationally would be a beautiful angle, take 5 or 6 around the world as well too. So Phoenix is number 1, the flagship for sure, but it's not where we anticipate ending it. We curated the hotel side, the plural side, meaning that we want to have more activations for people to connect with one another all over the country, but also all over the world there.
Is there a plan for Atari Hotels to be publicly traded?
We have not talked about that yet. I would say further, as we get further into the avenues of this, those will possibly be conversations that are open. But right now, we don't have any talks about it being publicly traded just yet.
Can we see where you're breaking ground and you can show us the progress that's been made?
Let's go.
Awesome.
Let's go. Right.
We really weren't prepared for what would come next. This used to be a radio station.
Correct.
And it's completely vacant now.
Correct. Completely vacant now.
So they're just going to bulldoze it, basically?
Yeah. So we're meeting with the city. We're going to be connecting with all the neighborhood groups throughout there. Very respectfully done in a sense of, hey, this is what we're bringing to Phoenix. This is what we feel it will have as an impact on Phoenix as well too. But to make sure that we're listening to all the voices, stakeholders, neighbors, business owners in this neighborhood, we want to be as upfront as possible with you to allow you to ask us any questions, the whys, the hows, and all those things before we take this down and, start the horizontal development of the Atari Hotels project. So
have they given you permission already basically to do so?
I wouldn't say that, but what I will say is that Phoenix, the city of Phoenix, incredible support throughout the Atari Hotels project. So I don't want to speak out and say, yes, they said, do it. But that's where the respect of, hey, Sure, you guys are aligned with the project, which we certainly absolutely appreciate the support, but still, before any motions here, let's go ahead and make sure that we're still connecting with you just in case there's additional before this all goes away here. So we own this building, everything from Roosevelt Street, just north, all the way down south to McKinley. Everything within this alleyway, we're gonna be connecting with the city of Phoenix to turn this into a pedestrian-only accessible alleyway. So that way we could have this kind of like motion from our historic house, Stoddard Harmon House, which is 1910, all the way up to the breezeway of the Atari Hotels, where you're hitting the analog meets the digital kind of concept there. In that breezeway, you can take your steps to enter into Atari Hotels if you'd like to, or continue into the alleyway all the way back to the entertainment of what Roosevelt Row is.
This all definitely sounds like a great idea and potentially a fun downtown Phoenix transformation. However, we were disappointed to see that nothing physically has begun other than a banner on a building, and hope that the city of Phoenix will comply.
We're still very hopeful.
Next up is a tour of the Atari Hotels company headquarters.
And welcome to at least the stairs to Intersection Development, AKA the office for the Atari Hotels.
Sydney gave us a tour of the offices. There were Atari Hotels concepts hanging up on the walls, along with a lot of fun retro gaming accents that really made it stand out as something truly unique. You're talking about a lot of different projects. Have any of them, to be blunt, any of them come to fruition?
Oh yeah, majority of them have.
What's here now that you guys did?
We have 14 different properties, but they're so mixed in terms of their use that we have 72 tenants overall. This building, that's our rendering for Rainbow Road.
Yeah.
And then if you look out the window right here, you see the rendering come into fruition, in which the black building, there we go. Yep. That black building you can see next to the tall glass office space there, that is the Rainbow Road. So that project's been complete since late January. We do have about 10 tenants that are in already, 36 units, ground floor is already leased out, restaurateur, and also a fitness concept as well too.
How many years has this development group existed?
Yeah, so taking it back 10 years within the neighborhood out here, just right within Roosevelt Row. So $350 million developed in this exact neighborhood here. We have 14 different properties, but they're so mixed in terms of their use that we have 72 tenants overall.
Proven track record of opening businesses.
Correct.
Atari Hotels is just one of the portfolio.
Exactly, one of the portfolio of the 14 properties.
Were any of the other properties that you've been involved with crowdfunded?
No.
So this is the first.
Correct. This is the first because of how unique it is with the collision of gaming and real estate there, and where gaming's not private in a sense. As the property is up and running, if you're $500 in, if you're $5,000, if you're $2,000, if you're $1 million in, like, you're truly getting a return on your investment on a quarterly basis as the property is profiting as well too. So that's cool. True ownership in this actual project here.
And backed by the SEC tells
Correct.
you that there's no like fishy business going on.
We
It's
cannot
legitimate.
be fishy, correct. We cannot be fishy at all. So annually, we have to report back to them with every single dollar
All
within
earnings,
that.
yeah.
Correct, so we're audited on a consistent basis for sure.
So do we think this is gonna come to fruition?
Well, I hope so. It seems like a cool concept.
And this real estate group does have a proven track record, so only time will tell. And by the way, if you were curious, no, we're not sponsored or paid to make this video or do this interview. We were just genuinely curious about the whole Atari Hotels thing and wanted to ask some questions. So I want to thank you, Sydney, and Atari Hotels, and then Rip Valley for hosting this. Really appreciate it. This is a really cool collectible store, so make sure if you're in the downtown Phoenix area to check them out, but we really appreciate your time.
Appreciate you so much. Thank you, Dan. Thanks, Elisa, and appreciate you all as well too. So if you have any kind of questions at all, feel free to reach out to me, Sydney O'Cancy, Atari Hotels, but also you can go to our website of atarihotels.com. If you just want to know what we're about, all the details will be laid out there as well.
Thank you so much for watching and learning about Atari Hotels right alongside us. We'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below.